Finally, let's look a little bit at competitor analysis. Competitor analysis refers to the way that we review and look at our competitors. What drives competitors? It's shown by that organization's, your competitor's future objectives. What is the competitor doing and what can they do? And it's revealed in their current strategy. What is it that the competitor believes about the industry? And it's shown in that company's assumptions about the market, about customers. And what are its capabilities? That's shown by its strengths and weaknesses. And again, we're going to be talking about strengths and weaknesses next week in the context of our internal analysis, the inputs. This week it was opportunities and threats. Next week is strengths and weaknesses. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats equals SWOT. SWOT analysis is a term you'll hear again and again this semester in this class, but it's one that's used regularly in terms of core strategic analysis. As part of your evaluation of your competitors, you're going to look at their strengths and weaknesses, not just your strengths and weaknesses. Here is a model that's from the textbook in terms of evaluating competitors. I'm not going to spend any time here talking about this. I think you can read the book and you can understand this. If you have questions, certainly let me know. What's important, I think, in the book stresses this, is as you consider those questions of what is it that your competitors are doing, you need to think about how you evaluate that. And essentially, competitor intelligence is the set of data and information that you gather that helps you understand and anticipate your competitors' objectives, their strategies, their assumptions, and their capabilities. You also collect comparable data on complementors, and those are firms and organizations that have network or alliance relationships with your competitors. So complementors may not be direct competitors of yours, but to the extent that they work in collaboration with one of your competitors, you want to understand where they're going, because to the extent that they are headed in the right direction strategically, or that you understand the direction that they're taking, that could influence the relative strength of your competitors. Now, how do you get this information? You really have to be careful, because most information about strategy is not easily obtainable in the public. There is a certain amount of information that's available in the public, but you need to be careful to ensure that you are ethical in the approach that you take to gathering competitor intelligence. And the book spends a fair amount of time talking about this, and I wanted to emphasize it as well. You need to use public information. So if it's a publicly traded company, there should be more available information because companies that are publicly traded are obligated to report a significant amount of information about their strategy and the direction they're taking, so that investors can understand the scope of the business in which they're investing. You can attend trade fairs and shows where those competitors are displaying their business and are talking about their business. You can collect brochures, view exhibits, listen to public discussions out on the internet or elsewhere. So to the extent on TV, to the extent that the competitors are talking about their strategy publicly, you have every right to hear it. So those are ethical. And so the real work is finding those public sources of information. Unethical and possibly illegal tactics include blackmail, obviously, so some of this goes without saying. Trespassing, you can't go onto your competitor's property without permission. Eavesdropping, using listening devices or other forms of eavesdropping or intercepting email, all of this would be inappropriate. Stealing drawings, samples, or documents. So all I can say is you just need to be very, very careful in terms of the approach you take with the ethical collection of competitor data. Now we've jumped over to the slide for for this week that really concludes this discussion. Hopefully this information was helpful to you. As you can see, week 2, we do have one discussion topic that is posted on the internet, and it is related to the ethical issues. And the question is, does the use of the internet to monitor the environment lead to additional ethical issues? If so, what are they? If not, why not? So that's the Manhattan discussion thread, which will be going live about the same time this lecture is posted. The week 2 discussion forum, which is the BStrat 450 network discussion, is really going to focus on how we will evaluate the vision and mission of this course. To participate in it, you'll have to look at the questions that I'll be posting in the forum. But first, please view the Changing Educational Paradigm video and Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2, to sort of set the tone for our discussion. Let's talk a little bit about next week's agenda. We're going to do a team project kickoff. We'll go over the assignment, and I will also assign teams and cases to those teams. I have gotten a couple of questions from people asking if they could partner up with friends or people they knew well in the class. That's not my preference. I am going to err on the side of having people who don't know each other work together, because I think that is part of the purpose of this exercise. Exercise is to learn how to build a team and how to be effective in a newly constructed team. You're going to have to look at the project team guidelines that are provided that will help you understand how to manage a team, and I'll talk a little bit about the team expectations agreement, which you'll be preparing and giving back to me. And next week we're going to be doing inputs in terms of internal organization inputs. This week was external, the external environment and the industry. Next week we'll be focusing on internal, the resources, the capabilities, the core competencies that add up to the competitive advantages that a particular company has. Just want to remind you of your assignments. First, don't forget that this week the first periodic chapter assignment is due. That's Chapter 2 video case. Again, the video cases are only available in Cengage now. You need to answer questions 1 through 4 on page 28. Submit your written responses no later than February 2nd at 10 p.m. And if you're not familiar with Jerry Rice, there's a profile, a YouTube profile, which is available at this link, and I've also posted it both in BStrat 450 network and BStrat 450 channel in YouTube. Next week, you're going to read Chapter 3. Pages 72 to 93 of the text. You're going to view the Chapter 3 video case. You're going to participate in one Manhattan discussion thread, just like we're doing this week. You're going to go to BStrat 450 Network, and there you're going to accept the invitation, which I've talked about. Actually, that you should do that this week. You're going to watch the videos and review any other posted resources and participate in the discussion forum. This is going to be an ongoing part of the course. And finally, read the project team guidelines posted on Manhattan. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact me. I've tried to get back to people as quickly as possible. Hopefully, you've, to the extent you have emailed me or posted a message to me, you've noticed I've gotten back as quickly as possible. Again, we're going to have video conference hours, but fundamentally, if you have questions, please use Manhattan Post Office as your primary medium for communication. I think it's been working. Hopefully it's been working for you. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Thanks.